Hello and welcome to another ship review. Today we will talk about Atron, Galantia Tech 1 attack frigate. I feel like if you want to fly something cheap and at the same time effective in the current meta, Atron is one of the better choices. In general, Tech 1 attack frigates made a resurgence after Navy destroyers were released in 2022. Because they naturally counteract these close range ships in particular. And since Navy destroyers are so popular, it kind of works very well because you just naturally fly rock against scissors. So in terms of popularity, Atron is one of the most popular Tech 1 frigates. It's only behind Rifted Twister and Condor, so you will see it quite often in faction warfare. Don't really look at the win rates. I will repeat it again and again as we go through Tech 1 frigates and Tech 1 attack frigates specifically, because really if you will fly Tech 1 frigate in the current meta, you're not really playing a numbers game, you will always play a rock, paper, scissors game. The vast majority of your wins will be due to bringing some counter to your opponent feat and ship. So what are the pros of Atron? The biggest advantage of his ship is incredible versatility. Essentially, Atron is one of the very, very few frigates that can actually do any role reasonably well. Anti-kiting, brawling, scrum kiting, web kiting, it can do everything. And because of that, you have a lot of choices in your feat selection. As a general rule, when you select your feat, you kind of need to decide if you want to play a numbers game and target Tech 1 frigates, and this would lead to certain archetypes like Brawler or Scrumkiter, or do you want to play the Rock, Paper, Scissors game and target Navy destroyers, Tech 1 destroyers, and to a lesser degree Navy frigates? And if you go for the latter, when web kiters and kiters are a bit more common. Overall, about 70% of Atrons are blasters, so this would be brawlers and scrum kiters mostly, and 30% use railguns. These Atrons would be scrum, web kiter and kiter mostly. Rail Atrons are becoming more popular as far as I can see in recent years, mostly as a response to Navy destroyers. Okay, let's look at the most popular feats next. We will start with the most popular feat, Blaster Atron. The feat itself is very straightforward. Worth noting that you should play both brawling and scrum kiting role in this one, because Atron has bonus to follow. So if you load null, then you can scrum kite quite effectively. The main win condition for this feat is playing rock, paper, scissors essentially, and brawling against frigates that don't want to brawl, and scrum kite against frigates that want to brawl. You need to utilize your superior control to achieve this. As you can see, Atron is quite fast, 1.4 with unheated afterburner, so generally you will have better control against frigates with a single web, and you will have a very competitive control even against frigates with double webs. And you also need to use this control to escape fights that are not going well. For example, when you scrum kite and you see that you're losing DPS race, and when you need to essentially know how and when to bail out. And in this case, this fit offers pretty decent value for money. It's very cheap. It's only 10 million ISK. You can also very easily make an anti-kiting fit out of this. Simply swap two modules, everything else is the same. And yeah, just use your incredible speed to catch fighters. And when get on close orbit, turn on your afterburner and yeah, DPS down your kiting opponent. It's quite unlikely that you will actually need this because in the vast majority of situations, in my experience, kiters are very reluctant to fight a Tech 1 attack frigate with a macro warp drive because these feats are just natural counters to any kiter. If you wanna play against the meta, you should take a look at Atron. There are two archetypes for Atron, Web Kiter and Pure Kiter. Both of them essentially doing the same thing. They both try to mitigate damage with range. With Web Kiting Atron, you generally hang around the edge of web range, around 13 kilometers, and your main targets are close range destroyers, both with micro warp drive and completely stationary, and afterburning frigates. Against afterburning frigates with two webs, you probably want to switch to just pure kiting and avoid web range entirely and load longer range ammo. But it works fine in any case. With pure kiting Atron, your engagement profile is a bit wider, so you can fight long range destroyers even, because tracking disruptor gives you better mitigation. And you can try, although usually just ends up in a draw, fighting against frigates with micro warp drive. Now, on the one hand, it kind of looks better, but on the other hand, this feat, the kiting feat, is paper thin. So a single mistake and you will be dead immediately. And on average, fights in this feat take quite a bit longer than with a web kiting Atron. Because in a pure kiting Atron, you kind of have to use long range ammo and just chill around 20 something kilometers. With a web kiting Atron, against a good portion of your engagement range, you can just stay in web range and use antimatter. So your DPS is significantly higher. And these fights will be just significantly shorter. And if you are fighting in a very hot systems, it can become a pretty good bonus as well. But essentially, both of them work fine. Okay, to summarize, I feel like if you wanna fly something that's very cheap and at the same time very efficient, Atron and our attack frigates are good choices. So take a look both at the mainline feeds and at the rail feeds, and I hope you will get decent results. See you in the next videos.